Okay, that one's done. Hey, Shamir, how you doing? I don't know where my phone charger is. Oh, it's right there. Hey, Nikki. I don't know where you got that shamrock from, but I kind of want one. Oh boy. Probably give people a minute to get in here. Oh, Lord. How do I? All right, people. I'm kind of new at this. I had to hang up on Josh real quick. Well, I'm sorry. I forgot y'all were talking. He's a nice guy. Okay, wait. Yes. I have like 10 things going on at one time. Oh, right. Hey, Frog Mom, how you doing? What's up? Cindy Luhu, hi. Oy. Somebody's asking me for a link to the channel, so. And Facebook is weird. As we know, sorry for all the typing, y'all. Okay. Hi. All right, so y'all know that once a week I want to do a stream about murdered and missing Indigenous women and people. And today, to start, I'm sorry, you guys. There's been a lot going on, like out of nowhere. First off, I want to talk about something that we were talking about earlier. There's a young man in the UK who's 14 years old. His name was Noah Donohoe. And it's pretty heartbreaking what happened to him. And it's really just all around weird, the whole case. So in the description, I have, different hashtags that you can go to on Twitter. And I think they're elsewhere on social media. And go follow all of them and like all of the tweets or whatever, share things, help boost the information that's out there. In effect, I'm asking you to do this to help the mother out. Because she's having a really hard time getting justice for her child. And it's a shame. Oh boy. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Okay, so his name is Noah Donohoe. And I don't understand how a child, how a young person that age gets lost, in an area they don't know and somehow ends up in a drainage pipe behind some buildings where there are trees around it. It seems to me like you should maybe need to know where that is to get there. I have questions. I have a lot of questions. I don't know. And the police were saying that there was no foul play before little man was found. How can you say there's no foul play if the minor has not been found? Is my question. There's a lot to it. I highly recommend going and reading all the threads and stuff about it. There's a timeline thread. There's all kinds of information. Highly recommend, just to help boost, things for her online, for his mom. Every little bit helps. Okay, wait. Whoa, the chat jumped really a lot. Resting a pinched nerve. Oh, ow. That is so painful. So painful. Let me see. Hey Josh, how you doing? Hey Jackie. Stina Marie. Hello. It's good to see you all here. It is, Nikki. It is strange. Look here. it's weird. What? It'd be great if I could type. Okay. So, I might at some point bring this up again because it seems like his mom is just having a hard time getting law enforcement to do anything. So if you can go and reshare some of the tweets and or do hashtag Laura Richards. She is she's a goddess among women, and who knows, she might actually have some connections and might actually be able to get something rolling. Never know. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm not saying that Laura Richards can move mountains and make miracles happen, but I don't know. I think she might be able to actually do something. Who knows? It's worth a try. Just hashtag or whatever at her, Laura Richards. I think a 14-year-old boy deserves more of an investigation than no foul play before he's even found. Call me funny. Okay, so I wanted to get that right out there, right up ahead of time. And in the description, there are, what do you call them? The links to that on Twitter. If I'm not mistaken, there's also information on Facebook and other social medias, but I haven't looked at that yet. Okay. Alrighty. So how is everybody doing today? And thank you, Jackie. Thank you for like everyone who shares that. Thank you. We should post that in the True Crime Discord room. Right. I will, when I'm done here, I'll do that. Okay. Hey. It's okay, Jackie. Spell check has been a beast today for me, so it's all good. All right, so there's one thing I want to do before we get into this other thing right here. Okay, I want to introduce y'all to somebody. He's one of my favorite writers, a musician, poet. He was a speaker for Indigenous rights. And he has a lot of videos actually on YouTube of him speaking for Indigenous rights and women's rights and just a lot of things. Okay, his name was John Trudell. Born in 1946, walked on 2015, and he was a spokesperson for the United Indians of All Tribes takeover of Alcatraz in 1969. Was an actor. You might have seen him in some movies, actually. And they broadcast as Radio Free Alcatraz, which I've actually heard some recordings of that, if I'm not mistaken. During most of the 70s, he served as the chairman of the American Indian Movement based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So he did a lot of speaking for Indigenous people, and there are videos out there of him doing this with his wife with him. Very strong speaker, very charismatic, and highly intelligent. After his pregnant wife, 3 children, and mother-in-law were killed in 1979 in a suspicious fire at the home of his parents-in-law in Shoshone Paiute Tribes, Duck Valley Indian Reservation in Nevada, Trudell turned to music, writing, and film as a second career. He acted in films in the 90s. The documentary Trudell, made in 2005, was made about him and his life as an activist and artist. And I wasn't going to talk about what happened to his wife. I was going to leave that for y'all to find. But it did have an impact on a lot of his poetry. If you ever listen to, especially, I highly recommend, you can read his poetry, but if you listen to his poetry, it's a whole different thing. So and thankfully, I actually got to see him speak a few years ago, and man, I mean, one of the most powerful speakers I've ever heard, like in person myself, kind of thing. Let's see. There's a lot more to his story. There's a lot. When they took over Alcatraz, they did that because any land that was abandoned by the federal government was supposed to be handed over to indigenous cultures, right? And Alcatraz was just sitting there, so they took it over. So that's not the only thing that happened, though. Okay. There was more, and they have to have more of it in. I can't read more about the house fire because it's just so sad. Okay, so there's all kinds of videos out there with him speaking. There's music. There's like spoken word to music. Is mostly what that is. So yeah, it's good stuff. Highly recommend. Hey, Leanne, how you doing? All right, so I'm going to talk about something today, and I have to make sure to make it clear and differentiate what I'm talking about. All right, you have the Trail of Tears, which involved the Cherokee Nation, like in Kentucky and other surrounding areas, and then other cultures as well were pulled off and pulled away from their land, right? That's one thing. Today, we're going to be talking about a highway of tears, which is a more modern, current thing. So I don't want people to confuse the two. So the one we're going to talk about today is up in Canada. Indigenous cultures all over the US, Canada, I mean, really pretty much everywhere. A lot of the time either have inadequate sources for good jobs and decent wages, and they may not have running water on their reservation. There are reservations in this country that do not have clean running water to their homes, yes, in 2021. They may not have a car, right? If they're living in poverty, then they may not have a vehicle. So, right, Nikki? Or I mean, yeah. So therefore, they may have to walk to and from work or school or wherever it is they're going, right? That leaves women vulnerable. So that is where the Highway of Tears comes into play. And this is kind of foundation work for other things that are going on, just to get people to understand that this isn't an isolated thing. It's happening all over. And there's also a common misconception that it's just women on reservations. It isn't. It's indigenous women in cities too. And it's also indigenous young people, men, queer people. You know, if you're indigenous, then it's kind of tricky moving through the world because On the one hand, people don't really see you. If something happens to you, the news is probably going to ignore it. You might not even make it into the statistics. Um, it's almost as if you just disappear. And your family might be searching for you, but law enforcement of whatever jurisdiction may not give a shit. Yeah, Nikki, that's pretty cool that that's still a thing. That's been going back and forth for a while between Ireland and I think it was the Iroquois. And now I think the Irish are helping, was it the Navajo? I forget which culture it is. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. All right. So there are a couple locations called the Highway of Tears. It isn't just this one, but this is the first one I heard of. Okay. The Highway of Tears is a 725 kilometer, 450 mile corridor of Highway 16 between Prince George and Prince Rupert, British Columbia, Canada, which has been the location of many missing and murdered Indigenous women. Beginning in 1970, the phrase was coined during a vigil held in Terrace, British Columbia in 1998 by Florence Nazel probably, who was thinking of the victims' families crying over their loved ones. There is such a disproportionately high number of Indigenous women on the list of victims. Proposed explanations for the years-long endurance of the crimes and the limited progress in identifying culprits include poverty, drug abuse, widespread domestic violence, disconnection with traditional culture, and disruption of the family unit through the foster care system and Canadian residential school systems. Also, the offender who is doing the offenses. I would just throw that in there. Or offenders, what have you. Poverty in particular leads to low rates of car ownership, yes, and mobility. Thus, hitchhiking is often the only way for many to travel vast distances to see family or go to work, school, or seek medical treatment. Another factor leading to abductions and murders is that the area is largely isolated and remote, with soft soil in many areas and carnivorous scavengers. Please infer. These factors precipitate violent attacks as perpetrators feel a sense of impunity, privacy, and the ability to easily carry out the crimes and hide evidence. Yes. Oh, I'm going to go back over here and chill with y'all for a second. Yeah, the potato famine. Yeah. Yep. Hello, Colleen Bennett. How you doing? Yeah, the offenders, it's funny how offenders get erased out of a lot of things. So I'm just going to reinsert them because, it should be noted. So there is something else that I'm going to throw in here at some point that I think bears talking about. Not at the moment, but who do a lot of serial killers target? People who are vulnerable, marginalized for whatever reason, may not be missed or may not be, they're being missing, may not be taken seriously by law enforcement because they're seen as less than human for whatever reason. Okay. So they have a list of names. I'm sorry, Leanne. Really, we just begun this part, but I'm going to go over the first part again after I get through this. So, People society forgets about. Yes, yes, indeed. If I go through this list name by name, I will start crying, probably. So I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. Okay. There, it's a long list. Hold on, let me see if they have. Do they have like a number of how many people? It's a lot of people on this list. Aboriginal organizations estimate that the number of missing and murdered women ranges above 40, and it's thought that it's way above 40 because a lot of Indigenous people who go missing are reported, but those reports are not actually like recorded properly by law enforcement. Well, thank you both for watching the replay, though. When you get to this bit. Okay. The first investigation by RCMP that tried to look at the Highway of Tears as linked cases were opened in December 1998. However, the list of cases as it existed back then included 3 additional male victims. So yes, men are vulnerable as well, Indigenous men. And queer people, trans people, just Indigenous people. Hey Wanda, how you doing? Don't forget to switch from top chat to live chat also. Okay, so those 3 men are not considered linked today, but I wonder why is that, because who knows? Whatever. It's all up in the air. To date, a number of people have been convicted on cases related to the Highway of Tears. 3 serial killers are among those charged. Brian Peter Arp, Edward Dennis Isaac, and Cody, I cannot pronounce that last name. I'm not even going to try. There's also another serial killer that is probably linked as well. And that's a whole different cup of tea. That dude. Is this the one? Maybe. Although he was not publicly implicated of any Highway of Tears cases, Bobby Jack Fowler was implicated in numerous non-Highway of Tears EPANA cases. Fowler died in prison and has never been charged in the deaths of any of the Tears victims. Highway of Tears victims. It is possible that Fowler was linked to the Highway of Tears cases because he worked for a now closed Prince George company called Happy's Roofing in '74, which was the same year that Monica Ignace went missing in Terrace, BC. Former Vancouver Police Geographic profiler Kim Rosmo is on the record having said that it is his opinion Fowler is not responsible for any of the crimes on Highway 16 between 98 and 2006, but that doesn't mean that, whatever. I don't even understand why there is a top chat. I mean, me either. What does that do? It just confuses things. Oh boy. In 2009, police converged on a property in Isle Perry in rural Prince George to search for the remains of Nicole Hoar. Hoar? Not sure how to say that. A young tree planter who went missing on Highway 16 in June 2002. The property once owned by Leland Chubby Vincent Switzer, Jesus, don't say that name fast, who served as a prison sentence for a second-degree murder of his brother and is out on day parole. You're a murderer and you're out on day parole. Wow. RCMP also searched the property for other missing women from the Highway of Tears. However, no further actions followed the investigation. RCMP Sergeant Wayne Cleary said they may never solve all the cases and that it will be the people in the communities that are going to solve these crimes. Can you believe that shit? There's so much evil in this world. Isn't there for this to happen and then for things to not be reported or a light being shined on it for so long? I mean, yes. Most people don't even know about this. I've been hearing about this since I was a child. That was a big thing. You don't ever go hitchhiking. Yeah, that right there, yes, that should be a thing. Okay. BC government email scandal. In an official government report, George Grates was accused of being irresponsible for triple deleting all emails related to the Highway of Tears from the email accounts of Tim Duncan, former executive assistant to Transportation Minister Todd Stone. Just going to let that sink in for a second. Right. I mean, what is the job of law enforcement? Hi. Okay. In 2015, Elizabeth Denham, the Information and Privacy Commissioner. There's a really loud car. I don't know if y'all could hear that. The window's open, so you probably could. Where was I? Privacy Commissioner of British Columbia published a 65-page report outlining how BC government officials had triple deleted emails related to the Highway of Tears. In her report, Access Denied, Denham describes the act of triple deleting as transferring an email to the deleted folder on a computer system, deleting the email from the folder, and then overriding the backup that admits the system to retrieve deleted items. By deleting these files, Denham states that the government had breached the Freedom of Information and Privacy and Protection Act of Privacy. Hold on. Speech impediment is rearing its ugly head. The Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. Okay. Denham became aware of the scandal in 2015 after she received a letter from Tim Duncan. Duncan claimed that he was responding to an FOI, Freedom of Information application. George Grates ordered for Duncan to search his records for any files pertaining to the Highway of Tears and missing women. Once the files were located, Duncan testified that Grates ordered them to be deleted. When Duncan hesitated, Grates allegedly took the keyboard and triple deleted all the emails. Grates originally denied this claim, but later admitted to the deletion during a second police interview. Grates resigned from his job. Note, I'm not giving him a title for a reason. A year earlier, in the summer of 2014, a team from the Transportation Ministry toured Highway 16 and conducted numerous meetings with Aboriginal leaders and communities. The significance of this project was to produce safer travel solutions for women living along Highway 16, many of whom had turned to hitchhiking as a way of transportation. In 2014, the NDP made the FOI request seeking all government files pertaining to missing women and the Highway of Tears, and the meetings arranged by the ministry. The report Duncan would later respond to. Despite a 2-month tour and multiple meetings, the BC government claimed the FOI request produced no files related to the Highway of Tears. According to Dunham's report, these records did not exist until government officials destroyed them in order to skip Freedom of Information laws. Think about that for a minute. They went out of their way to get rid of these files, and they were important. So there have been investigations trying to figure out if it's one murderer or this or that or whatever. What if it's several who know that they can target a certain area and there'll be minimal effort? Because I watched a bunch of documentaries about this and whatnot. They're on YouTube. Just type in Highway of Tears. It'll come up. People have gone or called to report a loved one missing, and they're told, oh, she's probably out on a bender. She's probably just out partying somewhere. She's probably drunk at a friend's house. It's the drunken Indian stereotype, right? What if it's someone in law enforcement that is the murderer? What was it? GSK, Golden State Killer? He was a cop when he started off. Files to be deleted. You can't make this up. People are evil. Yes. There's been a lot of that when it comes to Indigenous people. I mean, a lot. Yeah. Yes. And that's in Canada, but it happens here in the US too. We'll get there. We'll get there. What in the actual... Can you all hear this? The window's open. I'm sorry. There's a lot. I hope they don't come too close. That would be fire trucks, police units, ambulance. I have no idea what's going on, but there's a lot of it. Okay, so I mean, you don't have to believe me when I say that a lot of the time serial offenders will target vulnerable people purposefully, right? And as is stated above, there have been at least 3, possibly 4, maybe even 5 serial killers who are active in this general area. Okay, so there have been different investigations. The Ipana one, I need something to drink. The victims involved with the Ipana investigation followed the criteria being female, participating in a high-risk lifestyle, known to hitchhike, and were last seen or their bodies were discovered within a mile from Highway 16, Highway 97, and Highway 5. So really, it isn't just one highway in that area, right? A lot of the time, they'll just talk about Highway 97, but there's more to it. Right on, Leanne. I mean, really, when you live in New Orleans, you're not that far away from a tourist location, so, you know. The RCMP just bungled dozens of cases. These women, 100 women murdered on Pickering Farm. We're going to be talking about that. That's a thing, okay? I had to write a paper about that guy, and thankfully that class was right before, I think it was Christmas break, because I needed a break after writing that paper. That was, good Lord. And I think the only reason he got away with that for so long is because so many of his victims were Indigenous women. And then, you know, people with substance abuse problems, so the cops wouldn't listen to them. And this is what I talk about with the dehumanization of a human being. Then these offenders will just get away with whatever they're doing, just, you know, whatever, when it could have been stopped way sooner. We need to stop, our culture needs to stop dehumanizing people. So, okay, here we get to the racism. Some critics argue that the lack of results arising from this investigation is the result of systemic racism. This was also reported to be an issue in the case of Vancouver's missing women and the Robert Pickton murders. The issue of systemic racism in cases is explored in Finding Dawn, the 2006 documentary. I think that might be the documentary that I watched. If so, it is very good. Whose film includes a section on the Highway of Tears victim Ramona Wilson, including interviews with family and community members. Often looked in reports to the Highway of Tears is the fact that over half of the missing women are First Nations. Yes. Right? I mean, systemic generational trauma, that has nothing to do with it. What? Fuck. Thank you, Stina Marie. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good dinner. Have a good evening, and enjoy the replay. Thank you for watching. All that good stuff. Yes, she did. She loves bunnies. All the bunnies. Bunnies, kittens, penguins, any animals really, especially baby animals. Oh boy. Okay. So yeah, there's at least with this, there seems to be, you know, some media reporting on it, and that's good. I mean, that's better than what usually happens. So here are some videos. Finding Dawn, I do believe that's the one I watched, and it was really good. Finding Dawn, made in 2006. Highly recommend. 48 Hours, talked about the Highway of Tears. Highway of Tears, made in 2014. That's another documentary. Vice did a miniseries. So yeah, I mean, there's, you don't have to believe me. You can go look up the videos, and I think there might be a few books, but I'm not really seeing. Hold on one second. Let me see. I could swear I read a book about this. I don't know. I don't see a book so far. Let me scroll down to the bottom. There's also there's a Highway of Tears website. It says it's private though. So yeah, pretty unnerving. And to think that that's not the only one. There are more. There are more roads that are considered highways or roads of tears. You just don't hear about them. The one in Canada you actually hear about. To my knowledge, the ones here in the US you don't really hear about. But we're going to be talking about them. I picked this one because it has the most information. I didn't really have a choice. So to set the groundwork and the foundation for these once a week live streams about missing and murdered Indigenous women and people, I wanted to start with this for a reason. To understand that it just seems like there are a lot of women going missing in certain areas, right? And it's kind of funny how up in Canada there were so many serial killers linked to that. What if that's happening here as well? They say that there are fewer serial killers now, but are there? Are there really? Or are they adapting and changing so that they won't be caught? Right? Are they watching all the true crime stuff and whatnot and learning from it? Is my question. There's a lot to it, and we're going to cover a whole lot of stuff. But I also wanted to give you a strong speaker for Indigenous people in John Trudell, so that if you start looking into this and you start feeling like heavy and sad and whatnot, go listen to John Trudell. He has a way of just kind of giving you hope. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, he's walked on, but we still have his words and recordings of him speaking and all that. So in a way, he's still kind of with us, right? So, sometimes I'll just put his stuff on and just let it play. You know what I mean? Video after video. Oh, thank you, Sharmir, for putting that up there. Link will not work. Yeah, so there's a lot to talk about, because it's a bit easier to talk about jurisdiction to a degree in Canada, it seems like, than it's going to be to talk about here in the US. In the US, it's really complicated. And I would rather have someone from one of the indigenous cultures come on and talk about it and explain it to us, because dude, it's like quicksand. I think I have a grasp on it, but it's a lot. So I'm gonna see what I can do. Until then, we will talk about different stuff. Does anyone have any questions, comments, bitches, grapes, what have you? It really pisses me off that that's been going on for so long. Oh, all hell is breaking loose. Okay. Good to know. Damn. I don't even know if we should talk about that pig farmer. Pig. Yeah, I think that was, hold on one second. Go back up here. I just totally skipped it. Finding Dawn, yeah. Hold on, let me. If it will let me copy this. I don't know if it's gonna let me paste it, but I'll try. Let me know if y'all can see that. Finding Dawn, 2006. Who's the pig farmer? Oh, Lord. I don't know if you want to know, Nikki. He was bad. I mean, like, that's a paper I almost was like, I can't do this, and just walks away. I mean, it's pretty rare. I love writing a paper. I can write a paper all day long, and I'm happy. Love doing the research. Love putting it together. Like putting together the thesis and the bibliography and the whole 9 yards. Love it. Did not like writing that paper at all. Hey, babe. You want to come say hi real quick?
Hello.
How you doing?
All right. I'm now realizing that I am late to go pick up little one.
Oh, how was your game?
It's good. It's fun. Lots of story development.
Did he die?
The character?
No,
No. I wound up not attacking him.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Hey, Shamir. Hey, Leanne. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Wanda.
He had a D&D thing tonight.
Yes, because I am a nerd.
So am I. What's your point? One of my college classes.
Hi, Josh.
I don't remember which class it was. It might have been one of the investigation classes. I'm not even sure. That was a while ago.
Let me go pick up little one.
Okay. Yeah, we play. Well, I mean, I haven't played a video game in like a couple weeks, which I kind of want to play something at some point soon. But yeah, Marcus does D&D. Something you'd have to ask him. Was it a criminal case? Yes, it was. It was really bad. The pig farmer. Yeah, it was a really bad case. many victims. I don't think they'll ever know for sure how many. I mean, he was really bad. Right on, right on. I always forget the guy's name. It's like my brain doesn't want to remember. Where's it? Okay, let me see if I can find his name again. Why don't they have him here? That's weird. Okay, hold on one second. I think I have a mental block for his actual name. I know I saw it in here and I said something like Reddit, but I don't know. There's I think there's a documentary out about him as well that goes into that, but yeah, I used to play D&D back in the day, but I just really don't have time for it now between baby girl and the house and doing this. It's, it's a lot. I think he did have a brother. Like I said, it's been a while since I wrote that paper. I'm going to have to, like, before I do a stream about it, I'm going to have to reacquaint myself with that. Because it wasn't just his actual blood relatives. It was like people he had around. There was a lot going on. There was a lot. Yeah, I mean, keeping up with everything around doing this channel is a lot of work, and it takes up time, which I don't mind, but if I were to add D&D on top of that, it would be way too much. So I focus a majority of my day every day on baby girl, so as it should be. Weeks? Holy shit. Like every single day? That's a lot. Back when I used to play, we'd play once a week. I'm trying to remember. I think it was like Tuesdays, something like that. Really? I was going to say about my experience with Indigenous persons on this side of the border. So my dad used to roam the country riding the rails and hitchhiking. Let me guess, was that back in like the 70s, 60s, 70s? Because like when all the serial killers started, like grabbing people, like hitchhikers and stuff, that kind of went away, sort of. He ran away at 13? Jesus. That's young, man. 60s, 70s, 80s. Wow. 13 is young to be running away like that. I would lose my mind. Child runs away at 13 years old. I would lose my mind. I'm sure he did meet a lot of interesting people. Hopefully they were more on the good side. So when he married my mom in 76, she kept telling him that would have to stop. Well, yeah, one would hope. I mean, it's got to be a hard life, though, for a 13-year-old. Damn, that's... Bear with me 1 second, y'all. No phone, no. Not what I was trying to do. Right on. Right on. Okay. Because you never know who you're around. He ignored her. He brought home his friends sometimes. Some of them were indigenous people, mostly men. Who were still being moved around on their land for casinos, etc. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I don't know. I try not to involve myself on the opinion of casinos because, some cultures are for it and they're actually benefiting from it, and that's, great. And some cultures are just resentful of it, and don't seem to be benefiting from it. So it's like I don't know. I don't know. It's a thing. But yeah, all right, so the next missing and murdered Indigenous women and people video, we're going to be going a bit more in depth. And I want to talk about, hold on 1 second, Noah Donohoe again. All right, so Noah Donohoe was 14 years old when he went missing. The page updated. Hold on 1 second. Damn it. There's a thread on here somewhere that goes over the timeline. We're going to have to post that link in the comments section on this stream. And he was a beautiful young man, smart, loved school, loved his friends, good kid. So I'm going to see if I can find some articles and whatnot on him and, try to help humanize him. I have a tiny little platform, but, we do what we can. So if you can go to, like if you're on Twitter, maybe look it up on whatever social media you use. It's hashtag remember my Noah, hashtag the Noah Donohoe Foundation, hashtag Noah's Army, hashtag Noah's Bridge of Hope. I think hashtag 46 weeks, or week 46, sorry, hashtag week 46. Or at my Noah 8, number 8. Just, if you can go to any of those, all of those, like, share, help boost, get people talking about it. I mean, really, those are some mysterious circumstances. I'm just saying, if he wasn't familiar with that area and he just happens to end up in a drainage pipe behind some buildings with some bushes around it, how did he know that was there? I'm just, throwing that out there. There's way more. I have more questions, but I'm just, okay. Oh, I'm sure there was way more. And I'm sure it's really hard to explain. Yes. Noah was her only child. And I mean, from the sounds of it, he sounds like a smart kid, lovable, nice, good student. Yes. Yeah, that puzzles me. What? That doesn't just happen. He was, yes. He wanted to be a doctor. That's a damn shame. Because, I mean, if he was leaving to go study with his friends, then he was taking that pretty seriously. Do you know what I mean? I noticed that a month earlier, another young man had been attacked by a group of teenagers and had a head injury. The young man was on a bicycle, riding somewhere, and it was a robbery. I thought they unlocked the drain cover a couple days before he was found, and somebody had called them and said to lock it or something. Like, I'm not sure. I'm gonna see if I can find some decent articles about it. Like, I just heard about that before coming on here, but if anything, it doesn't hurt to go on there and help boost a signal, like, share, retweet, whatever, everywhere. Get and try to at Laura Richards. Laura Richards. Hold on 1 second. Let me. She is one of the few people that I fangirl over. Okay, hold on. Is there something I can, okay. Put this over here. Hey Hatter, how you doing? What's up? Can y'all see that that I shared, Laura Richards 99? Hold on. Somebody had to have the key. Yeah, and they don't know who like unlocked it and all of that. Like, that's just to randomly have keys like that. Okay, that's weird. It's kind of weird that it was unlocked, and 2 days before his body was found, they locked it. Okay, that is weird. They say his body was already locked when it was down there. Ah. Yeah, I'm gonna see about finding some articles and just, I don't have a ginormous platform. I'm not going to be able to make some big, huge impact, but I think every little bit helps personally. And it doesn't hurt to at least try to help. I mean, look what happened with the petition, I pushed that thing all over the place. So did a bunch of other people. And I think it made a definite impact. Thank you, Jackie. The council or water people came out and locked it. It's just weird. Red gravy smoked chicken turkey wraps. You are evil. Also, don't those have to be checked for clogging and things every so often? Yes. I would imagine before being locked, right? Just what? Yes. I mean, if they're already saying there's no foul play before he was even found, like, how you go about doing that? I mean, thank you. Because, I mean, as a mom, I can't even fucking imagine. I can't imagine that level of pain. So yeah, I will be sharing that around. You'll probably, if you're following me on Twitter or wherever, you will see that floating around from me. Let me see if I can copy it. Yes. Also, there you go. Yeah, my heart goes out to her too. Because, it's like her and her family are fighting a battle on their own to get any kind of justice. And it reminds me of so many other cases. Jessica Easterly's family, they're still fighting. Who knows how long that's going to take for anything to actually happen. I mean, what is law enforcement's job again? What exactly? Plus there's CCTV missing too, plus people caught trying to sell his laptop. There's a lot. I mean, when I say there's a lot, that's why I want to find a decent article that kind of covers everything, if there is one. Well, with that much, this should be solved. How long ago was this? This wasn't that long ago, but a bunch of his clothing is missing. And you know that forensically, there can be a lot of forensic evidence on clothing or whatnot. It kind of seems like things might have been dispersed in different places, to kind of muddy the waters and make it difficult for investigators. And they're not making it any easier on themselves. It just seems like 48 weeks it's been. Man, that's an eternity. That's an eternity for a mom. For that mom, that's an eternity. I guarantee you. It's so wrong that people have to fight for justice when they're suffering so much grief. Yes. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. One would think that you would really want to figure out what exactly happened to a child. Just saying. That should be a big red flag. And, because if a month earlier you had a child attacked, right? And now a child attacked, because from what I read, he actually had a head injury. So 2 in the same area? Like, police ruled it no foul play, so there's no investigation. But they did that before he was found. So what the hell is that about? How did they know there was no foul play if he hadn't been found yet? The family are fighting to get it investigated. Yeah. Yep. How is that ruled no foul play? Yes. There's been 3 what, Nikki? 3 minors attacked? Clarify. Because if it's like 3 or 4, that's a pattern. That I would call that. I'm just going on based on what experts say, and I do believe 3 or more is a pattern. I'm just thinking back to college. Eagerly awaiting Nikki. The thing about lipstick, it looks really good, but then it gets on your teeth. The police said it at a press conference when the boy was still missing. No foul play. 3 as far as I know of. And none in what? Wait, what? What the hell is going on? Are we just letting teenagers get attacked now over there with the... Wait a minute, this is in Ireland, right? That is... I'm going to need all the information. Wow, that's messed up. I mean, if it's... I don't know. I'm going to have to go... I could swear that Jim Clemente said in one interview he did that, was it 1 or more is a one-off, 2 or more is questionable, 3 or more is a pattern. I'm not sure if I might be paraphrasing there, but the child with the really bad head wound, the mom reported it months later. The police still hadn't contacted her. Jesus. All the things, yes, all the things. It's a lot of things. That is a lot of things. And I mean, Donohoe, I mean, yeah, you got a bright kid, you know, that's just... Hey, Ballistic, how you doing? That is weird. And that's a weird spot for him to be placed. Because that's not a place that, he's just going to know is there. Hi, Keebler Elf. How you doing? All the lads are Catholics and it happened... Oh, shit. All the lads are Catholics and it happened in Protestant area. Another reason Noah wouldn't be in or know the area. Yeah. There's a lot of background and context around that. I mean, are things really bad like that still, or, I know back in the day it was a no-go kind of thing, but I don't know how things are now. Are things better now, or... I saw that police there are asking people to stop speculating about Noah's case, but it comes off more like they want less prying. That is suspicious. Yeah. I would say that's really suspicious. Like, what the hell? I mean, if that keeps on happening, Irish people are going to be out there with the pitchforks and stuff, It's getting a bit volatile since British, because the Protestant want to stay UK and there's a bigger chance of a united Ireland. I mean, I don't really necessarily know enough. What is this? What are you doing? Is the screen frozen? I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know enough about the political climate of Ireland right now with, like, the whole British and all of that. It's, did the screen freeze or whatever? What about the religious divisions? I mean, that's a thing that's been going on for a very long time. The Catholic Protestant thing in Ireland. It'd be kind of great if people would just let that go. Good. My screen froze, so I had no idea what was going on. Would a united Ireland be a good thing, do you think, or no? I mean, I'm just curious. It's not really religion. Most Irish were Catholics. The English that settled in Ireland were Protestant, right? Been happening for generations. Yep. Yes. That's just been a long-standing war, feud. Yeah. Someday I will also make it to Ireland. I don't know though. I think when it comes to a child, all that shit should be pushed off to the side. That's just my opinion. I do. I'm not living there, but it's more of a wish of mine. Right on. Honestly, I don't know, but I know some people in Ireland want to be separate from the UK now because of the political stuff going on. But Scotland, yeah, Scotland, didn't they? They had a vote and they were trying to break off and whatnot. Bye, Leanne. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. My granddad disowned my uncle because he married a Catholic. Wow. Yep. There it goes being weird again. Okay. All right. So go forth and boost the signal on helping this this mother and her family find justice for little man Noah. The trouble now is coming from the Protestant side. Yeah, Noah's family are not about divisions. They want justice and want people to live united. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. That would be nice. All right, y'all. So I'm going to jump off here. I have a bunch of stuff to do before Marcus and baby girl get home. So, oh, I was going to, I don't know if I showed y'all this. My meditation for today was this lovely ColourPop palette called Whatever. That's how I feel right now. Whatever. And that's the inside. You know, it doesn't have crazy colors, but you know what? It's pretty awesome. I wish you could see the shimmery ones a little bit better, because in this light, this palette just, wow. In daylight, it is so gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Josh. It's this right here. Is it evening here by me? Not quite. It's close. Yeah, these colors, they're very, very pretty. And it's a versatile palette also. So yeah, that was the my meditation for today. That is a lot of variety. It is, really. It's kind of stunning. How much they pack into one palette is pretty amazing. So, yeah. I had fun today, putting out fires and stuff. All right, y'all. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody who watches the replay. Don't forget, you have the right to say no. Your no should be respected. Please don't hitchhike. I know it may be hard, but I still don't get the time thing. Me either. Yes, I hate time zones. I really do. It's 8 p.m. here in Michigan. It's still light outside. Right. It's still light right now, and it's 7. So, yeah. Don't forget to like the stream, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all, share, all that good stuff. Comment in the comment section, everything else. And in the description section, I have the stuff for Mr. Noah Donohoe, Jesus, Noah Donohoe, and absolutely arbitrate the like button. Sending love to you too, Josh, and everybody else on here, and all of the subscribers. We're over 200. Thank you. Really, really appreciate y'all. All right, everybody, have a good night. What was it? Gently caress the like button and the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, go check and make sure you're still subscribed, because you may not be subscribed because YouTube. Hey, Sincere Crack Up, we were just leaving. You may have to watch the replay. I'm sorry. It's been a little over an hour and a half. So, yeah. All right, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye.